So David was intensely moved by that experience when we traveled back to the homeland of his grandfather. And I'll tell you something else that was cool that he probably wouldn't tell you, and that is that in Lithuania, this was news. Because like Lithuania is a small country, 3 million people. The greatest export is fine young people. And it's like, and people were leaving the country to find work because the downturn was terrible in Europe as well as everywhere. And so when David found, using the resources of the cultural center, when he found, his cousins and his relatives, and he comes back to visit. And in Lithuania, this is news, and they interviewed him on the TV, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It was cool. So
he was moved by this, and he's got a really cool song.
Yeah,
it's so new, I don't even have a part for it.
Yeah.
So
I'm working on this new song. So I'm gonna. On
he's
our trip
stick
on
his
our
neck
trip
way
south.
out. He's going to stick his neck way out and sing this brand new one for you.
On our trip south, a friend of ours told us this story. He said, like in Helsinki, Finland, there's a morning DJ. And Helsinki is in southern Finland, right on the Baltic Ocean. And the DJ was having fun, and he said to his audience, it's supposed to be cold up north. It's supposed to be like 50 degrees below zero. So let's call somebody up at random and let's see if it's true. So he got out a phone book and he found a number and he called up and he got this old woman, and he said, this is like whatever his name was. I'm down in Helsinki on this radio station. We're calling to see how cold it is up there. And can you tell me how cold it is? And she said, well, just a minute. I'll have to go check. So off she went. She came back and she says, well, it's 15 degrees below zero. 15. He goes, 15? Don't you mean 50? And she said, oh, you mean outside. So my family, after the Second World War and Stalin came back in, Stalin decided he was going to. Actually, they had this policy before the war. They just renewed it after the war. They took probably 300,000 Lithuanians and threw them on cattle cars and sent them out to Siberia basically to die. And we're repopulating the country with Russians. And so when my cousin was 6 days old, she and her family were thrown on one of these cattle cars, and they got to Siberia and they survived. And I thought that was just a moving story, hearing stories about it. And I wanted to write something about that, because for all those Lithuanians and all the Lithuanians who've left for all over the world, there's a lot of longing for their homeland. They didn't choose to leave. And so last September, I heard a story on NPR, National Public Radio in the States, that was about Siberia. And they said, when it gets really cold, when it gets down to 50 below in Siberia, the words will freeze as they come out of into ice crystals as they come out of your mouth, and they fall to the ground and they chime. You can hear the ice chime, and they call that the whisper of the stars. And that's what gave me the title for this song. The loneliness and cold here are profound. Words stumble from your lips, tumble to the ground. They chime like bells, immediate yet far. It's known here as the whisper of the stars. Lost in evening quiet, it's the only time I'm free. And I remember thoughts I treasured of how things used to be. I don't think about tomorrow, I just think on where you are, and hear the song that my heart sings in the whisper of the stars. In the railway yards of Vilnius that spring day, torn from your embrace and shipped away. But love itself is still its own reward. And I remember in the whisper of the stars, bright and cold this morning, I look forward to day's end, when I will find those moments to be with you once again. Your eyes told me all my heart needed to know, and I hold that image close in the candle glow. I speak your name aloud across the night, and in the whisper of the stars it's nearly right. Where time and soul and spirit will unwind in the vastness here among the lakes and pine. But in the whisper of the stars I find it's true, there's no distance between me and you. I can't think about tomorrow, I just think on where you are, hear the song that my heart sings in the whisper of the stars, and hear the song that my heart sings in the whisper of the stars. Thank you.